Would you be the one? Shh.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monique Macrin. If you're new here, please subscribe, and if you've continued watching my video, thank you so much for your continued support. Now recruit your friends to come and join this channel, share this video, and especially with this particular series, I'm being vulnerable. I'm sharing parts of myself that I've kept so private for so long, and I'm sharing this mostly because I feel like there are young girls who are going through what I was going through that particular time, and I just want them to know that it's normal. It's normal to feel that way. It's normal to feel lost. It's normal to consider things that are considered morally inappropriate. I just want you to know that it's normal to feel what you're feeling, and at the end of the day, your story can turn out to be as beautiful as I believe and feel mine has turned out to be. So please stay tuned. Now, a continuation to my previous video. So I've already found out that I'm pregnant, and I'm in shock. I'm not feeling anything. So for 2 days, we don't talk about it. He would try talking, like telling me, oh, so what are your plans? And I would be like, I'm not pregnant. Then on the third day, I can't forget, my dad called me. So me and my dad, we are pretty close, so he would call me like every other day. But for those 2 days, I didn't call him, I didn't tell him good night, I didn't text him. So he called me and he was like, umenitupa mpaka nafikiria simu yangu iko na shida. Then after talking with him, that's when the reality and the weight of the matter came through to me, and I just felt like a disappointment. Like, my dad had so much faith in me. He believed in me. And, you know, I was that morally upright girl who made the right decisions all through her life. Okay, I was naughty-ish, and I was that naughty child and mischievous, but I just had, I don't know, I was this kind of a girl that you expected that they're going to school, graduate with a first class honor, then get a job first, get married, then get a family, you get. But now here I am, just got into school, and actually I changed the course that I was called in to do, which was a good course. It was a good course. My dad was proud of me. Then after 2 semesters, I decided to change this particular course because I wasn't feeling it, and secondly, because I wanted to go to KU main campus. So when I told him I had changed a course to this course that is new in the market, he was very disappointed. So I've come from disappointing his thoughts of me and his expectations of me, and I've also disappointed him in that I just changed a course to something that he doesn't understand, you get. I felt it was depressive. I felt like I had failed myself, mostly not even myself sana. I felt like I had failed my dad, you get. So it was more of I had failed my dad, my society, and my high school teachers, you get. So it was not more of a me problem, but more of a societal problem, like, what will people say, you get. Then in addition to what will people say, I also had a lot of trust issues in relationships. So this was my first relationship, but he was a good guy. He still is, but I never believed anything that he told me. Like, anytime he would tell me he loves me, I was like, okay, that's what men tell girls. When he would say, oh, I want us to have a family together, I would be like, men tell girls that, and then they leave them. See, when you come from a dysfunctional family, as I have, you have a lot of childhood trauma that is not dealt with, you get. No, you have a lot of childhood trauma. If you don't deal with it, it affects how you relate with other people. It affects how vulnerable you're able to be with other people. Generally, it affects a lot of decisions that you make as an adult. So I believe that it is from me coming from a family that didn't work out, seeing also families around me break, having friends who are in very unstable relationships. So I kind of felt like even in my relationship that was stable at that particular time and felt happy, I just felt like it was just a ticking, like I just felt like It was just a matter of time. And then everything is going to fall and I'll be like, oh, this perfect guy is actually not so perfect. You get? So, at that particular point, I thought, no. First of all, you're not cut out to be a mom. If you decide to keep this baby, you're going to be someone's wife. And all my life, I've never thought of being a wife. I was like, okay, I'm going to be a single, successful woman. I was just going to chase my career and enjoy life. You get? I never saw myself as a mom, let alone a wife. So the thought that came to my mind after talking to my dad and thinking of the poor decisions that I've made, and I'm doing quote unquote because I believe it wasn't a mistake. It was God's plan and it was the perfect timing for it to happen. But at that particular point, I was like, I have to solve this poor decision, and the answer is abortion. I mean, I've had friends who had aborted at that particular time, like 4 friends. Actually, one of them, I remember taking her to a clinic. She was like, okay, I have this doctor who is going to help me. Please take me so that in case of any complication, you're able to alert my family. And I took her, and I remember when she came back, she seemed healthy. She seemed okay. And I remember asking her, wow, that was fast. Are you okay? Are you bleeding? Do you feel okay? And she was like, actually, I didn't feel any pain. I just feel a little bit, a little bit of cramps. So from that particular experience, I knew an abortion wasn't going to be a complicated thing. And moreover, I know of that clinic. So that was one of my friends. Of the 4 of my friends who had aborted, only one got complications. She had to go to the hospital, but the others were quite, successful. I think they were successful. So it did seem like an easy way out for me. And I actually called one of my friends. Okay, before calling one of my friends, I told Habi that I'm going to abort the baby. And he was like, but why would you do that? Then I told him, because it's my life. It's my choice, and I don't think I'm ready to do this. And he told me, but what about me? It's also my child. I told him, but in this life, it's the woman who suffers. There's no day that you're going to suffer. And he was like, but I'm ready to take care of you. I'm in a good place in my life. I'm stable. I can be able to take care of both of you. And I was just looking at him and I was like, maybe 1 year from now, you'll have left. You get? So I had a lot of trust issues. So I told him, in this case, I feel like it's a choice that I have to make. Then he told me, I'm not going to support that, but I also can't force you not to do things. So please think about this carefully, but just know that I really want that child and I'm ready to support you. His statement was coming through this year and going out through this other year. So the following day, I got ready and I went. I wanted to go, and I had actually set a date. But on my way, I remember going around TRM. Then I was like, okay, let me go and get some ice cream. So I went, took the ice cream, and then went back home to his house. And he was like, so did you do it? I told him, no, I didn't do it. He tried convincing me. It didn't work, of course. And then the friend that I had called was like, hey, Monique, usiingie a box. Hey, these men, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it. And then after that, I'll be more responsible. The second time I tried to go, I just went to the market. No, I came out of the house. Then I just found myself going to the market. I remember going to some cafeteria and, having something to eat. Then I came back home. So the third day, I told myself, Monique, siku zinasonga. You need to do this now and then. So I left and I went to Githurai. This clinic was in Githurai. My friend was with me. So we talked to the doctor and he was like, okay, fine, I can do this. He told me the charges. It would have costed me 5K. But he gave me a lecture. He was like, oh, you girls, this is what you do, blah, 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 blah. You cheat on your men and then you just abort so that they don't find out. Anyway, to cut the story short, so he told me, go to the cashier, pay, and then you come. And then after this, I will not do this for you again. So be careful, be responsible with your life. I told him, okay, sir, I will. So I went to the cashier, I queued. When it was my turn, I don't know, something just told me, no. Like I didn't have the strength to go ahead with it. So I just walked out, I called Habi and I told him, I'm not able to do it. Then he told me, okay, fine, I'm coming for you. So he came for me and We went back to the house. That was the first time I allowed for us to have a conversation around that baby. And he was like, Monique, you need to trust me. And I'm so excited for this child. It's going to be a girl. And he was like, oh, I've always wanted to have a girl. I love my mom so much. I want to name someone after her. So I remember, oh, the mom is called Mary Wamboi. So I was like, we can't call her Mary. It's not a fancy name. But of course we're going to call her Wamboi. And she said, yeah, we'll call her Kafoi. So we used to call her Kafoi, Kafoi Foi, Foi. So it became a norm in the house. I would call him, hey, morning Baba Foi. He would be like, okay, morning Mama Foi. And the more we talked about this child and the fact that we had given her a name, it started to feel like she existed, like she was a warm and worthy part of me. I started being warm. I started be accepting of the pregnancy. I started taking the vitamins. We actually started planning on when to go for the clinics. So slowly by slowly I started accepting that I have a child in me, and I was starting to feel the connection. But I also must acknowledge that there was also a part of me that was fighting with the fact that I'm going to be a mom and a wife. I just didn't feel ready. Yes, so I just didn't feel ready. So the next thing that followed was actually having to tell my dad that, hi daddy, your 20-year-old daughter with a bright and promising future is pregnant. Stick out for that part. That is part 3 of this series.